10 worst cities in America.
Worst cities. We began in the terrible, terrible city of Shreveport, Louisiana. Actually, Shreveport isn't the worst place you could possibly live, but on paper it ranks really high as a bad place to live. Here's why. First off, crime's really high. You'd have about a 1 in 16 chance of being robbed and a 1 in 113 chance of being the victim of a crime here.
That's
every
everywhere.
year you spend in Shreveport. Shreveport's also the slowest growing city in America too. No wonder homes here are so cheap. You can get one yourself for only $139,800. What else makes Shreveport so noxious? It has to be the most boring and stagnant place in Louisiana to live, quite honestly. So it's not really a shock to anyone when a story comes out that paints Shreveport in a negative light. People in Shreveport don't get upset and say, "That's not our Shreveport." They
I know
usually
some
go,
real niggas
"Yeah,
from
that
out there,
sounds
though."
about right." We don't have to go too far away to visit our next worst city in America.
Okay.
In fact, we're going to go right next door to the city of Mobile, Alabama. The fact remains, Mobile has one of the highest unemployment rates in the country, where 8% of the population is out of work. That's far above the national average, and households only bring in about $36,000 a year. So most people in Mobile are broke. And then there's the crime. Mobile.
He fucked up for saying that, low key. That's kind of foul. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of foul. But
One of the most dangerous places you can live in America. You have about a 1 in 15 chance of being robbed here every year. And things have kind of gotten worse lately too. In many parts of Mobile, respect for human life has eroded, and many people care little about their communities anymore. Job-wise, most of the jobs here aren't great jobs and are low paying. There are some very accomplished people who are from Mobile though. Apple CEO Tim Cook is from here. Hey Tim. The guy who invented the Super Soaker's from here. Hey Super Soaker guy. And the Duchess of Marlboro is from here. Whoever that is. Ooh. Bad to the bone. Bad. The city's bad to the bone. We're heading out west for the first time today as we take a very depressing pit stop in the city of Tucson.
I've been to Arizona, bro. I ain't never heard.
Tucson, surprisingly, has the 15th highest crime rate in the country. The number of both violent crimes and property crimes is double what it should be for a city the size of Tucson. Factor in very low home values, really lousy public schools, and a 10% unemployment rate, and across the board, Tucson doesn't sound like the best of the best. There's even a worry that one day Tucson will run out of water. USA Today called Tucson the third worst place to live, citing a 24% poverty rate and a college graduation rate of under 1 in 4. And another large news outlet once stated Tucson has the nation's 4th highest vandalism rate. Plus the weather's yucky. You have to pretty much use an oven mitt to get to work in the summer. Did you know Tucson has the nation's highest skin cancer rate? It's true. Brownsville, Texas really blows. E-I-E-I-O. And if you move there, then you'll know. E-I-E-I-O. Here in Brownsville, things are challenging. First off, homes here average $85,000 a year. That's the 8th lowest home price value in the United States. You can judge a city by the cost of the homes, and when homes cost well under $100,000 a year, that means, well, people don't want to live there. What else makes Brownsville so lousy? Well, unfortunately, the reality of living in a border town means higher crime. Statistics.
Well, that's it right there. It's a border town, bruh. Like, bruh. Niggas over there getting busy. They over there getting active. Like,
border towns are far less desirable when you measure quality of life factors. This guy thinks Brownsville is the worst place in the world? Harsh. Many Brownsvillians will defend Brownsville, saying it's a diverse place and it's affordable. Plus, there's a bunch of places in Brownsville to get Mexican food, which means, are you kidding me? They have a Mr. Taco. We might have to move Brownsville off this list. Guys, seriously? Why is Brownsville on here? They have a Mr. Taco there. You used to be great, but it's over
San Bernardino.
now. San Bernardino, California.
That's crazy,
man,
bruh.
This one hits close to home.
San Bernardino.
Literally, I grew up right next door and went to college in San Bernardino. I can personally attest that there are many, many reasons why San Bernardino is certainly deserving of being on this list. Crime here is horrible,
I don't
and
know
it's
no
getting
people
worse.
that live out
People
there now,
are
but I
really,
knew some
really
people that lived out
disrespectful
there, and
here,
I've been
where
out
they
there.
vandalize, steal, rob, and leave trash everywhere. More than 1 in 10 residents are without jobs, and, well, we could go on and on about San Bernardino's issues. San Bernardino used to be a great place. In the 50s, it was home to McDonald's, Cruising USA, and home to major military personnel. Then in the 80s, it was like all the broke people from LA decided San Bernardino was the bee's knees and moved there and brought the whole area.
That nigga just said some of the real, like, bruh, that's the realest thing he gonna say in this video. Some of the broke people from LA that moved out there. And I could say San Bernardino, but I would say San Bernardino County in general, not just San Bernardino, the city itself. But because I don't know a lot of people out there for real, but I know a lot of motherfuckers that's in San Bernardino County though. And it's because they all came from LA for the most part. Everybody then came from LA and shit. Because it got too high priced and all that.
But San Bernardino is home to In-N-Out and Del Taco. Possibly the best places you could ever possibly eat in your entire life. Every day is a winding road. Hopefully away from Cleveland.
That nigga said In-N-Out and Del Taco, some of the best places you could eat from. That shit just gave me a headache hearing that.
O-H-I-O, no.
In-N-Out kind of smacked though.
Cleveland ranks as the 5th worst city you can live in America. And it's not the only Ohio city we're going to talk about. What makes Cleveland so abominable?
I look forward to you joining us at our next investor webinar.
Said it would make Cleveland abominable. He foul.
It's a gray, cloudy, dreary, and very cold place for a majority of the year. They've made an attempt at fixing up the downtown area a bit, but there's still a bunch of downtown that's dangerous and really sketchy. And don't ever get off the freeway in East Cleveland. I did that once to let my dog out to pee, and I seriously thought I was gonna get shot, like a block from the off-ramp. And remember, I grew up in San Bernardino, so I'm kind of tough. On paper, Cleveland's...
Like I said, he grew up in San Bernardino, so he kind of tough. I mean, I guess that fit. That fit.
Miserable. Cleveland has a 16% unemployment rate, which is the second worst in the entire country. It has far below average income levels and the 13th highest crime rate in the country. Did you know a quarter of all Cleveland residents doesn't even have a high school degree? For people in Cleveland without a high school degree, that means 25%, or 1 in 4. And 1 in 5 homes in Cleveland is vacant. Where'd everyone go? Hello? Anyone home? Anyone want to go catch the Indians game? No? Okay then. Practically right next door is the seriously unimpressive city of Dayton, Ohio. This city also makes sense to me based on firsthand experience. Whenever I drive through Ohio, I try to always time my trip so I don't have to stop in Dayton or Chillicothe for gas. If you live in Dayton, this might not be a surprise, but you have the 34th highest crime rate per capita in the country. Every year you spend here, you have about a 1 in 20 chance of being the victim of a property crime like a car break-in or home invasion robbery. Plus, there were more than 1,400 violent crimes in the last FBI reporting year. That means if you spent a year there, you'd have about a 1 in 100 chance of being the victim of a major crime. Finally, the folks who live here have the 3rd lowest salaries at $30,000 a household. That's simply not enough to get by for most folks. People in Dayton need money bad. They'll take anything they can get their hands on. Christmas lights, Ja Rule tickets, even your cracked cell phone. Moving right along on our terrible tour of America brings...
I don't know no people from Ohio at all. If there's any people from Ohio and whatever he's saying ain't right, comment and let me know. But bruh, he doing them foul.
Us to America's favorite punching bag, Detroit. Well, good for you, Detroit. You're not the absolute worst place to live. Detroit has all sorts of issues, particularly with its economy. 1 in 5 people in Detroit is out of work, which is the highest rate in America. And home prices are around $40,000 or $50,000, which is the lowest in the country.
Exactly.
You can be an unemployed joker and still afford a house in Detroit. Remember when the entire city of Detroit filed for bankruptcy?
Like Illinois,
the city was slashing jobs, cutting services, and closing parks. They even shut streetlights off on many blocks in town. But Detroit's apparently getting better. People talk about a resurgence of jobs, a new attitude, and lower crime rates. While many areas of Detroit are improving, overall the city as a whole still has a lot of things to figure out. We're all pulling for you, Detroit. Everybody except Cleveland. So who's the big runner-up? Jackson, Mississippi, that's who.
What?
Like the first two cities we talked about earlier, Jackson is a southern city plagued by high crime and no real bright future on its horizon. Incomes, number of jobs, and home prices are all in the bottom 10 in the US here. Jackson's been on the decline for a while. The city experienced a population loss, especially among higher income residents, and businesses followed, draining millions, if not billions, of potential revenue. As the tax base continued to erode here, crime increased, infrastructure began to crumble, and urban blight grew. You can look online for things to do, you can ask people about what makes Jackson interesting, and you'll still struggle to find anything appealing or charming about Mississippi's capital. Now let's try to be positive. What's good about Jacktown? Well, they have an all-female flat track roller derby league. That's cool. And that's pretty much all we could find that's cool about Jackson in about 10 minutes of Googling. We are the champions.
Memphis.
If you were looking to hook up with someone and Memphis came across your screen, you would definitely swipe left. Memphis, my friends, needs some real TLC. Here in Memphis, crime is the ninth.
Bruh. He can't be doing Memphis like that, bruh. I fuck with Memphis heavy, I ain't gonna lie, bruh. But he fouled for that, man. Nah, bruh.
Highest in the country, and about 1 out of 18 residents was robbed here, according to the latest FBI numbers. Yeah, that's not good. Additionally, you have about a 1 in 54 chance of being the victim of a violent crime. That's also very high. The folks in Memphis have a really high dropout rate. The unemployment rate's also huge at 12%. Add it all up, and sadly, Memphis is just a really lousy place to live. Now, do these cities have any redeeming qualities? Sure. We were being a little hard on them while trying to make our point, but there's some culture in most of these places. Like anywhere in America, there's good and bad around every corner. But overall, based on statistical data, and from what many top news gathering agencies have written in the past, these are your worst potential places you could live in the USA. If you live in Memphis, or any of the other cities we talked about, hopefully you're working on making your city a better place. If not, you have nothing to complain about then. Now, I'd like to add that we'd also like to help these cities too. So in the description, there's going to be links to places in each city where you can do your part if you want to make things better.
How he didn't have my city on there? How he ain't have LA on there, bruh? You didn't have South Central LA on there, bruh. You didn't have Compton on there, bruh. Like, my nigga. At least, bruh. You know what, though? He probably don't know. I don't know where he getting his information, but I've been to these places in real life. Like, I've been there in real life, bruh. There's some parts of Compton you can't even, you not getting out your car. You drive through them streets. You get out your car, you out of your mind. I got a godmom that live in some parts of which I ain't gonna speak, but you can't even over there. Nigga, we drive to her house. You driving straight into her complex, bruh. And you ain't even parking outside, bruh. You gotta park outside or something. You don't even pull up, bruh. Because y'all niggas don't even know what it be like in some of these parts of LA, some of these parts of Compton, stuff like that, bruh. Like, man, it get like that for real.
So while we're poking a little fun at some of these places, we want to do our part to help too. Hey guys.
Yeah, W video though. Let me know in the comments what y'all think and what y'all cities that y'all think is the worst cities is. Let me know in the comments.